Hello guys, this is Natty once again, and you're welcome to today's episode on Introduction to Excel. And today we continue from what we learned the last time. And we had these figures. We typed in ourselves, and then the serial number here was generated based on the two logics we presented to the application. So if you not watched that video, you can go back and watch it, and then you can continue here. So now let's continue. So you might have a logic here that based on their marks you assign them a grade. So if, for instance, we have 80 to 100 is A, '70 to 79 is B plus or B, 60 to 69 is C, 50 to 59 is D, 40 to 49 is E, and then below 40 is F. So these are your grade points, and then you have the conditions here. So this is how you're going to do it. So normally, based on these conditions, you can just input them here. You know that this Stephen had A, Frank had C, I think so. Yeah. Emmanuel had D, Victoria had A, Vida had C, Trulove had A, and then Sandra had F. Yes, so you have the values here. Fine. But remember, assuming you have 1,000 of students or hundreds of students, like 300, and then you are going to look at their marks respectively and then assign them a grade, to might be very tedious. So Excel has given us the opportunity to just type in one function and then apply the function to every cell beneath it, and then we have it calculated for us. So here, assuming I had a mistake, I had made a mistake here. So instead of Frank having 65, he was supposed to get 56. I had to come here and then change it. So you want to make this side or the grade work on a function so that it's dynamic. It will be based on the value that is being inputted at the marks column. So now, what do we do? That brings us to the concept of formulas and functions. Formulas and functions. So let's note this. If you want to type a function or formula, remember to begin with what? Equal to sign. Remember to begin with the equal to sign. So as soon as you think about typing a formula or a function, always remember to begin with what? equal to sign. So now let's work on the basic function or formula. And you're going to start with the if function. So as I said earlier on, start with equal to sign, and then you type the name of the function or the formula. This is a function. So this is an if function. It checks whether a condition is met and then returns one value if it is true and another value if it is false. So now this is how the if condition is. You have the if, and then the first parameter takes the condition or the logical test, and then the second parameter takes the true value, and the last one takes the false value. It is very simple. So now you are saying that if C2. So as soon as I type C2, you see that C2 cell has been what? Highlighted. So I'm saying that if the value of C2 is greater than or equal to 80, comma, the parameter is separated by a comma. If it is greater than 80, then what do? I want A to appear. So this is how it works. I want A to appear. Else, comma, if it is not true, then let's type something like this, not A for the start, and then we close the bracket or the parenthesis, the parenthesis. So if it is A, you see that A came. What if it is not A? Not A. Do you see how it works? If it is A, it will tell you A, but if it is not A, to tell you not A instead of A. I hope this is very clear. This is a basic if function that you could get now. So I'm saying that if the value of C2 is greater than or equal to 80, then display A. If it is not greater than or equal to 80, then display not A. Very simple. But let's remember this. We have a marking scheme here. You have a scheme here that you follow to give grades. So now, if it is not, then you are saying that it should check for another condition. So if it is not 80 or above 80, it should check for another condition to find out if the same C2 is greater than. Remember to bring your parentheses. Let's take this one off for the meantime. Is greater than or equal to 70, comma, then display what? B, comma, check another one. If the same C2, remember not to change it, it's C2, you are testing values for only C2, and after that you apply that formula to the rest of the column. So if C2 is greater than or equal to what else? 60, then display C. Very simple. If C2 is greater than or equal to 50, then what? Display D, comma. So else, if C2 is greater than or equal to 40, then display E. Else, so this is our last one. Else, if it is less than 40, we display that. But with this one, that's our last condition. So there's no need for us to type if C2 is greater than or is less than 40. You don't need to type that. It means automatically the rest of the condition will be applied here, which is less than or 40. So else display what? F. Remember this. It's very important for you to. Then we start to close the parentheses. So before that, you count all the parentheses you have here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So I'm going to close them 5 times so that they correspond with the opening parentheses. So I have it here. Okay, now let's apply those formulas here. And then you have the values here working well. So if I change Sandra from 13 to let's say 72, you have B for that. So you see, values here changes based on the values here. So they try to correspond, and then the range in which I have set with the if conditions will be reflected here to give an output as I have instructed the computer or the program to do. So the same goes for the remarks. So what I have to do is to just go here, highlight everything, and then come here, paste it. When I paste it, instead of A, I can say excellent. Instead of B, I can say very good. Instead of C, I can say good. Instead of D, I can say average. Instead of E, I can say satisfactory. Instead of F, I can say what? Fail. So the remarks works similarly to the grade. They all work with if conditions. So let's change someone here to maybe 15, and you see F will give me fail. Okay, now let's move on to the last one, which is what? Position. So position, we call a function called rank. So remember to always start with your equal to sign and then type rank. Remember, as you are typing, if you see, if the name of the formula or the function you are calling that is not captured in the application, it will tell you. You know that. So as I type rank, it will be giving me an IntelliSense or autocomplete down there to tell me that truly we have that function in the system. So now rank. So we are going to base the rank on the max, still on the max. So if you are saying that we should check C2, and then that's the number. So here I'm referring to the cell that we are going to take the relative cell here, and then we will compare it with all values in that column, all values in this column, all values here in this column, including the first value itself. So you are starting from C2 through to C8. C8. So we take C2, so you take all values ranging from C2 to C8, and then you compare the values with C2, then find out where C2 or the rank with C2 will be. I hope it is clear. So that's the second parameter, and parameter is optional. The last parameter is very optional. That's why you see it in a bracket or square bracket. You see here. So it's optional. So if you want it in ascending form, you use 1. If you want it in descending form, you use what? 2. So let's use 0. So let's use 0 for this one, and then we hit enter. So by default, Stephen is in the 3rd position. That's what they say. But you see, 72 for Sandra is first, which is not possible, and 92 is also first, which is also not possible. 93 is also first. So we did something here. I don't want to mention it. This kind of referencing of cell is termed to be relative, but here we're going to use a term called mixed referencing. So with that, you just click in the middle of the name and the cell reference, and then you hit on F4, and then it will append a $sign before the letter and before the number. I hope it is clear. Then you also do the same for that. You append it, then you hit enter. Then after that, let's try and hit the rest. So automatically, you know that True Love is first, followed by Victoria, followed by Stephen, followed by Sandra. So this is how to check for the positions of the respective students. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'm Natty once again, and then I'm out. But remember to subscribe to this channel if you want more, and then like this video if you liked it. Thank you very much.